Hey guys, today we're going to turn a woodworking mallet on the lathe. I've already got it glued up here. I don't know if you saw my other video where I made the billy club, but I had cut 3 blanks and I made a billy club out of one of them. Here's another one. That's probably what I'll do with that one, but this one I thought, well, you know what, I'll use that for mainly the handle, and then I'll glue some more pieces on here and just go ahead and turn another wooden mallet out of that. Should turn out pretty nice. As you can see, I glued up several pieces to give me the bulk I need here so I can eventually turn it down. And one thing you notice, I kept all the grain going the same way. I had some glue on there, but if I'd have had it turned the opposite way, that would have run into a problem. Not necessarily a problem, I just had to be careful what tools I use, because you wouldn't want to use your regular spindle turning tools going across that end grain. You definitely want to use like a bowl gouge or bowl turning tools for that. But being I got the grain all going the same direction, I can use spindle tools on it or whatever I want to use. So, but I've got that all glued up. I glued it up yesterday, so I'll get it mounted in the lathe and we'll give her a spin, see what happens. Well, we got a little knot right there. Wouldn't have to, I mean, it's just a hammer, but I'm gonna fill that a little bit with some wood and some super glue. First thing I want to do is put a little bit of finish on that area, because that will help keep the super glue from staining the wood. Just turn that on a minute. Let it kind of dry it out a little bit. Fill that with some sawdust. A little bit of this super thin CA glue. That super thin stuff, that's what I use. It's a Starbond CA glue, really good stuff. This is the super thin, so it soaks in. It'll soak into cracks and stuff too. If you got little cracks in the wood, that'll help strengthen it up. I'll spray some accelerator on here, and that just sets that super glue up almost instantly. Now I'll smooth that out a little bit before I sand it. Oh, that's pretty good. I'll do some sanding now. Okay, I'm gonna get some water and wet this down a little bit just to raise the grain up on it before I do the final sanding with the 220. I started with 80 grit and then I went to 120 and then 150 and then 180, and the final I'll do on it probably is a 220. I just noticed I got a little chunk right there. I'm gonna have to fill that right there. So I'll do that real quick. And then I got to decide, this didn't turn out quite the way I wanted. I wanted this little decorative thing here up a little higher, kind of keep your hand from sliding down on it. So it's a little longer than I wanted. So I got to decide now whether I want to cut it off right here or go ahead and cut it back here and leave that on there. I'll have to think about that a little bit, but I'm going to fill this little spot right here. Get some. finish on there. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm going to get some water here. Doesn't take much, just dampen it a little bit, and that raises the grain on it. And then you get that final sand. If you don't do that, and it gets wet later, then the grain will stand up and be a little bit rough. Not a big deal really for something like this. Okay, we'll spin that dry. That feels pretty good. I think I'm going to cut it off right here. I'll wait and get finished on it first though. Put a little shine juice on it. This is a mixture of shellac, denatured alcohol, and boiled linseed oil. 3 equal parts, mix them together, and that's what I use for this. It's like a friction polish. You might have seen it in one of my other videos. I'll put links to all that stuff in the description if anybody wants to mix some of this up. Makes real nice finish on stuff like this, and then you get the finish on, get on there what you want, and then after you get enough on there, then what you do is you speed the lathe up to a high speed. Something like this, I usually go like around 1,000 RPMs or something, and then just keep working the rag back and forth until you feel some heat building up, and that puts like a friction polish on it. Puts a real nice shine on it. So I'll speed it up now and put that shine on it. You got to keep your rag moving. If you hold your rag in one spot at high speed, it'll build up in that one spot, and it won't be smooth and even. So you got to keep it moving when you're doing this. I think I'm just going to leave it that length. I think that'll be all right. Nice big wooden mallet. So I'll go over here and sand the end of it a little bit where I couldn't get to it, and the bottom of it, and sand that smooth, and put a little finish on those bare spots. But walnut and oak. I'm going to probably put this on eBay, so if you guys got any interest in it, let me know and I'll send you the link to it. Thanks for watching.